In Indonesia, Tzu Chi collaborates with different groups to ease people's living conditions in the pandemic. A new recycling venue has inspired volunteers in Hubei, China to deepen their commitment to environmental protection. Welcome to Diet Headlines. I'm Jenny Lee. Thank you for joining us. In Indonesia, Tzu Chi volunteers continue to work with local organizations and the military to distribute rice and masks to impoverished residents. Many aid recipients express their deepest gratitude to Tzu Chi. Here's the news.
Under the sun, 43-year-old Rudin is clearing garbage in the ditch. This is his rare job opportunity during the pandemic time. However, since the income is low and unstable, he cannot feed a family of 7.
My job is to clear garbage near the river and the income is unstable. Currently, having a job is good enough. I cannot ask for much. However, I cannot pay for my family's expenses.
During the pandemic, there are a lot of families that rely on odd jobs in Tangerang. Therefore, Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter continues to work with the military to provide relief. This time, they have distributed 1,100 bags of rice and masks.
As a soldier, our responsibility is to protect the country and the people, especially during the pandemic time. We're happy to work with Tzu Chi to carry out charity work. I've asked all the people to help seniors who are in need.
As Tzu Chi volunteers, we're fortunate to be able to help people during the pandemic time. We do our best and understand the needs of the impoverished families, so they will know society has not forgotten about them.
While people in suburban areas are facing difficulties, residents in the capital are also having a hard time. Yusalas, who runs a small eatery business, cannot sell many bowls of noodles in a week and is running out of rice at home.
During pandemic time, as eatery owners, we are having a hard time since there are no customers. Fortunately, you have come to help out. May the pandemic end soon and everyone can return to normal life.
Tzu Chi volunteers have worked with the military enterprise to distribute supplies to help everyone get through the tough times.
On behalf of the residents, I want to thank Tzu Chi and Enterprise for sending us rice and masks. These gifts are very helpful for everyone.
Despite the pandemic, volunteers have provided the needed help so the residents can through the tough times.
In the United States, New York Tzu Chi volunteers assist the Coalition of Asian American Independent Practice Association to administer vaccines, directing patient flow and accompanying post-vaccine observations. In addition, Tzu Chi Medical Center in California is also providing vaccination services.
From when the first batch of COVID-19 vaccines were delivered back in December 2020 to mid-March this year, the United States Tzu Chi Medical Center has administered vaccines to more than 1,000 people. Under the government's distribution, they have vaccinated 380 people over the course of 2 days.
This time we set up the vaccination venue at the El Monte currently. This clinic currently provides mostly medical counseling over the telephone and provides less in-person services, so there's more space available here.
It has been over a year since the start of the pandemic. To mitigate the disease, Tzu Chi volunteers promote concepts essential to preventing the virus spread.
We have already been promoting vegetarianism, and since the government now has vaccinations, we should get vaccinated quickly.
We need to rest for 15 minutes after getting the suit. I noticed the Jinsu herbal tea and was interested, so I asked a volunteer about it, and they gave me a free sample.
At Tzu Chi Northeast Regional Headquarters in New York, Tzu Chi volunteers cooperated with the Coalition of Asian American IPA to accept bookings and administered 550 vaccines over 2 days.
COVID-19 is a very serious problem. In Flushing neighborhood, the percentage of infected people rose as high as 17% in the past few weeks. Now it has decreased to around 12 or 13%, but the situation is still very severe. We hope that everyone in the community can have the chance to be vaccinated.
Of course, I can feel more at ease. If I have errands to do, I can now go out and do them and won't feel worried and restrained.
Pandemic prevention measures are carefully followed during the vaccination process. Volunteers also assist in helping to direct, providing barrier-free communication, and accompany people in post-vaccination observations.
In Wanhua District, Taipei, Mr. and Mrs. Luo have been Tzu Chi's care recipients since September 2019. When the temperature dropped earlier this January, many floor tiles in their home cracked, causing the floor to be uneven. Tzu Chi volunteers helped the elderly couple with home repair, increasing the safety measures in their home.
Some of the tiles tilt when stepped on, some are severely cracked. The uneven floor is a safety hazard for the senior residents. Because of the cold weather earlier this January, the floor tiles have become cracked and uneven. Tzu Chi volunteers came to help clean up the house. Then they asked a cement worker to help renovate the floor.
We originally planned to come and do this before Lunar New Year, but because the neighbors had undergoing construction back then, we couldn't move the furniture out to do construction in the house.
With 15 people at work inside the small 50-square-meter house, the volunteers moved all the furniture from the living room and dining room into the bedroom.
After moving the fridge in, we waited for around 5 or 10 minutes before plugging it back in. Then we moved some of the metal cabinets and tables. After that, we moved the TV in here. The main trick was to move the bed to the side against the wall to make space to put the furniture.
We didn't do construction in the bedroom, but we did redo all the floor in the living and dining rooms.
To help the elderly couple, both over 80 years old, walk more safely in their home, Tzu Chi volunteers also plan to install safety railings.
This door will also be removed and changed to a sliding door. The railing can be built all the way from out here to inside the bathroom to make it safer when seniors go to use the bathroom or take a shower.
The house looks entirely transformed with the new tiles. The smooth floor minimizes the safety risk so that the senior couple can now live securely in their home.
In Fengyuan, Taichung, 67-year-old Mr. Lin suffers from residual foot numbness after surgery. He has a chronic disease and mobility issue, so he applied for Chinese medicine house calls from Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital. Chinese medicine doctors go to his home once a week to provide care and treatment to improve the quality of his life.
On a rainy day, two traditional Chinese medicine physicians from Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital went to Mr. Lin's home to conduct regular house call.
You lie down for a long time to fall asleep. Okay, just relax.
After asking Mr. Lin about his recent physical condition, the Chinese doctor treated the symptoms of numbness of Mr. Lin's feet by applying acupuncture.
Numbness occurs on my feet and hand. My knees sometimes feel sore too.
67-year-old Mr. Lin lives alone. After having a surgery for cervical and lumbar degeneration more than 3 years ago, there was still foot numbness, combined with other chronic diseases, making him inconvenient to move. So he applied for house calls.
It's very helpful to me, otherwise it's hard for me to go to hospital.
We come once a week to check his physical condition and prescribe medicine. We will also apply acupuncture.
The Chinese medicine house calls are supplemented by health insurance. Members of the public who meet the requirements can make good use of it.
For those with mobility issues or unable to live alone, we will come to evaluate one's condition. If he meets the criteria, we'll come over to provide treatment to him continuously.
Not only provide house calls, the Chinese medicine doctors also care about the emotions and daily needs of the patients. In addition to medical treatment, they safeguard the health of the patients wholeheartedly.
In Taiwan, the superintendent of Douliu Tzu Chi Hospital has come to a senior learning center in Yunlin to tell seniors how to maintain bone health. His 3 patients were also present, sharing their personal experiences of treating bone illnesses. Let's join them there.
After Liu Wenxi underwent surgeries for his pelvis and waist 3 years ago, he's in good health right now.
2 to 3 years after the surgery, I have been feeling fine. My waist is not good. Dr. Chen performed lumbar spinal stenosis surgery on me. Currently, I do not feel any pain when I walk. It is very good.
The superintendent of Douliu Tzu Chi Hospital, Dr. Jin Ruiten, has come to Citong Senior Learning Center to tell the seniors how to take care of their bones.
It's very good to enhance the medical knowledge of these seniors who are elderly. It is very helpful to our seniors in the community.
Besides Liu Wenxi, two other patients of Superintendent Jian have also come here to explain the importance of health.
These three patients are sharing their personal experiences of treating bone problems. They can help other patients with similar problems so they can receive treatment and regain their health.
As the seniors seize this golden period to treat their bone problems, they can regain their health and enjoy a fulfilling life.
In November 2019, Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital Stem Cell Therapy Center's director Li Qichen met a young patient, Bác Trong Dan Hu, in Vietnam. When Dr. Li returned to Taiwan, he initiated the medical care case. After intensive medical treatment, Bác Trong is now recovering. To show his appreciation, he and his mother arrived to Hualien's Jingsi abode to meet Master Zheng Yan.
After a year and 2 months of medical treatment, we can now arrange a plane flight for Bác Trong Dan Hu to return back to Vietnam.
12-year-old Bác Trong Dan Hu suffered from blood cancer since he was 8 years old, and in 2020 he came from Vietnam to Taiwan Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital in order to receive medical treatment.
He's recovering quickly now. He can run, jump, eat, and drink. He's very energetic. However, he has a very minor liver issue, but it's a good thing because it means the stem cells from the donor are very active.
During medical treatment, many challenges were faced, but the team never gave up. At last, the family finally reunited.
I'm so happy that I can finally go home. I missed home.
After long-term medical treatment, we receive good care from medical staff. And after help from multiple people, we can now safely return home.
The sincerity of both medical staff and volunteers helped Bác Trong Dan Hu recover from an illness. He is able to smile once more. After returning to Vietnam, local volunteers will continue to accompany the family.
In Wuhan, China, Tzu Chi volunteers have been promoting environmental protection for 10 years. However, over the years, they lacked a steady place to sort recyclables. Fortunately, an entrepreneur, Zhou Zhang-in, has provided a venue. With this new recycling location, volunteers are confident they can better carry out the recycling mission.
The big Chinese character Tzu Chi Recycling have appeared at Jinyingtan Modern Business City. Looking into the building, one can see that a new Tzu Chi Recycling point has been established.
With the establishment of this recycling point, I think we should first learn from recycling stations in Taiwan. We should look at their experience and see how they are able to do such a dedicated job and earn people's trust.
Tzu Chi's recycling work in Wuhan began in Hualien community. Volunteers did recycling weekly outdoors and had to switch to different venues due to the weather. They've been hoping to have a recycling point that could protect them from the wind and rain, and Zhou Zhang-in has fulfilled their wish.
Because of the strength of the mother, at the moment, I felt inspired. If there is a recycling station in Wuhan, I could be doing recycling at the recycling station. This way, I do not need to go to the hospitals or nursing homes. This is a fortunate and wonderful thing.
On the day recycling point opens, volunteers show their appreciation for senior recycling volunteers with a simple ceremony.
The two of us will become the support of the senior recycling volunteers in Wuhan. We are the support of all the recycling volunteers. The two of us will shoulder the responsibility. We've started doing this since 2014 and we will continue to do the work.
As the entrepreneur provides the recycling point venue free of charge, recycling volunteers can carry out their work without worry. They will be able to protect the environment and inspire more people to join the ranks of recycling volunteers.
In Liaoning, China, students at the Hunan District First Elementary consume packaged milk every day. Therefore, since December of last year, volunteers have encouraged students to wash the milk containers and share tips on how to protect the environment.
A student consumes 1 packet of milk per day, and for the students from the 1st grade to the 6th grade, the total amount consumed is staggering.
The amount is too many and it requires a lot of people to help with the recycling works. But if the children help out during their lunchtime, it will become a very simple task and it can be recycled very easily. With these recycled milk boxes, the children are able to understand recycling works. We will then instill the knowledge of environmental protection into the hearts of the children, letting them know that the importance of recycling and encourage them to join in.
Environmental protection is not about theory, but it is learned through practical actions. As volunteers share on sorting recyclables, the habit of doing recycling have already been cultivated in the children's daily lives.
We use a basin to collect the used water. The water will then be poured into a bucket and used to flush the toilet. By doing so, we are able to save water.
I've used the fabric in our home to make a bag. When I head out to buy vegetables, I'm able to use the cloth bag and not use any plastic bags.
Reducing the usage of plastic bags, saving water and practicing recycling in daily lives, not only do the children remember the slogans, but they are guardians of the environment.
Every Wednesday night, Dongxing Park of Taichung's Beitun district turns into a recycling venue. Regardless of the weather conditions, local residents from all ages come to support the environmental conservation. This event has been going on for the last 8 years. Take a look.
东兴公园，去东兴公园啊！
As the night falls, the quiet park begins to gain momentum. A truck arrives and everyone spreads out to help unload the recyclables to begin sorting.
We have about 25 to 30 Tzu Chi volunteers here, and then there will be other community servers that come to help.
The Dongxing Park's nighttime recycling began in 2012. Volunteer Zhang Rentang is the one responsible for bringing the recyclables, and he is also the one to invite and remind people of the upcoming events. He will also document all the little moments during the activity.
We can talk about family life and care for one another. It's actually a very good place to interact with the community and continue the cycle of compassion.
Xu Yuchun provides chairs for people to sit on, so sorting is easier. And she's also in charge of the attendance sheet. Each week, underneath the stars, children also come with their parents to help safeguard the planet.
I will tell my grandmother that we already have enough at home. Don't buy any more because excessive purchases are wasteful.
When I'm out of the house, I bring my own bottles and chopsticks. I don't buy the beverage from the convenience stores.
At Dongxing Park has been connecting the nearby residents so that people may continue to enjoy the planet.
In Malacca, Malaysia, there's a stall being run by 3 generations. In addition to being famous for fried kway teow, the stall owner's mother, Wang Chu Feng, is very good at saving water and started reusing water more than 6 years ago. Here's the story.
The fragrant kway teow is being fried in a big wok. There are always endless customers in this small stall, which spans over 3 generations. It is not only famous for fried kway teow, but also the owner's mother being a water-saving expert.
I've been the chef for about 7 to 8 years, but I've been helping since I was a child for more than 20 years.
I normally use at most 6.5 buckets of water a day. I will use this bean sprouts cleaning water to wash away the soap of the dishes. After rinsing the dishes with this bucket of clean water, I will put them here. I will save the water to wash the floor when the store is closed.
The bucket of bean sprouts cleaning water, which used to be discarded, is now kept for washing dishes and mopping the floor. This can save water and is also hygienic. Huang Chunfang started helping her son take care of the business 6 years ago and brought in the good habit of saving water.
Because I'm used to saving water when I was young, I don't want to waste it. I keep the used water to mop the floor or wash the tablecloth. To be honest, when I was a child, I'm used to saving water, and I know we should do it. Sometimes I tell my son that the earth has become like this. We have to save water.
Saving water has slowly become a habit.
He can do it, just change it starting from today. Same as me, I always encourage him to save water.
Every drop of water must be used wisely. Volunteer Huang Chunfang not only does her best to save water, but also inspires others to do the same.
In Sanzhi District, New Taipei City, Tzu Chis from 7 different universities gathered at Qianshui and carried out a beach cleaning activity. Although the process might be tiring, these young people think it's worthwhile as they're doing something meaningful for the environment.
Everyone has a pair of tongs in their hands and 2 people share a plastic bag. 27 Tzu Chis from 7 different universities have gathered at Sanzhi's Qianshui to carry out a beach cleaning activity.
Rubbish is trapped in between the wave-breaking rocks. We need to climb down and collect them. Some rubbish is underneath the rocks, and I need to move the rocks before being able to pick up the rubbish. If this rubbish is washed into the oceans or being ingested by marine creatures, I will be heartbroken.
If one looks across the beach, it seems relatively clean, but there's actually a lot of rubbish that do not belong on this beach, such as styrofoam and plastic materials. The Tzu Chis have cleaned them out thoroughly.
We found out that a lot of rubbish are stuck under the seaweed. So if we consume this seaweed, and the seaweed will absorb the nutrients from the ocean, we're actually consuming the microplastics into our body.
I was shocked because I did not think that there would be so many styrofoam pieces. When we walked closer, we can see that the area is covered in white, and no matter how we try to clean it up, we're unable to clean it thoroughly. I think this is really bad for the environment as some fish and birds will consume these particles.
With today's experience, the youngsters have learned a valuable lesson.
We might not be able to completely clean the whole beach or even collect all the rubbish from the ocean. But what we can do is to do our part and sort the recyclables in our daily lives.
By doing recycling on land, it is hoped that the rubbish will not flow into the sea, leaving a clean blue ocean for our next generation.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Jiayi, Taiwan are invited to perform sign language at a musical concert for the underserved groups. Here's the footage. Thank you for watching. See you next time.